Well, here we have the Lotus Evora. Shut up, bird. Lotus Evora as Matt just commandeered.
Yeah.
Cool car. I mean,
looks good.
People like it. They like the way it looks. I thought it was a fun car to drive. It's a little tough getting in and out of because there's super wide sills.
Yeah.
Mixed with a door that doesn't really open that wide. Maybe I'm making that up.
It's one of these cars that's actually harder for me to get in and out of than you, because as you move the seat more forward, that sill gets wider, and I'm just kind of cramped in there, but it's a fun car to drive.
Yeah, it's mid-engine. It's got a Toyota V6 with a supercharger on it.
It does. It has a 3.5 liter V6. Now, a while ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we had the Evora on here, which was, I think, 276 horse. And this one with the supercharger is 345. And that extra 70 horsepower or something makes it fun.
I must say, it's got that sort of Spartan Lotus interior, which is nice, but this is easily the worst car stereo. And I'm talking about, I'm going back into the 80s with Kraco stereos and things like that. This is the worst car stereo I've ever experienced in my life. First off, it has one knob that's the size of like a hamster dick that sticks out, and it's smooth. It's not lined or knurled or anything. So it's like there's nothing worse than a volume.
You can't drive on a bumpy road and turn it without going like really high or low. You need a push button.
And it's wildly counterintuitive. I drove here. I drove back to my house. I pushed 15 buttons just trying to get FM radio.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I couldn't figure it out either. I plugged in an iPod and I was fine.
It's literally unusable.
My biggest problem is especially with polarized sunglasses, it's just a black screen. I couldn't see anything.
Yes. The dash has a sort of, it has the tack, and the speedo, and then some temp and fuel. But the interior, it's taut. It feels like race inspired. And I know they go for that sort of minimalist thing. But I need a little more going on the dash for 90 grand.
For 90 grand, yeah. Now, you don't think of Lotus and think of interior. You think of chassis, you think of handling, you think of suspension.
Fun.
And the engineering guys got it right. It's just it's this complete aluminum subframe on this car. This basically, this tub you sit in, and the front and rear sections are removable. So if you do hurt the car, you can always have it replaced. And the whole chassis weighs something like, I don't know, 500 pounds or less than 500 pounds, the aluminum chassis.
And when I was driving at Fontana a few weeks ago, there was a guy out on the track in our race in one of these, and maybe he'd been breathed on a little, I don't know, maybe some exhaust and some roll cage and stuff like that, some tires, some sticky tires. But on that back, on the straightaway, that guy was blowing past me. I mean, I was in my Roadster, but that guy was going past, he was going at least 35 miles an hour faster. And I was pegged, I was in fifth gear at 7 grand, so I was going, 130 something, and he was just, So the car works. It's just, I think for 70 grand, for me, I think for 70 grand, or so,
well, this
90 grand.
This starts at 75
and goes up to about 90.
Yeah, and this, as it sits, is like 89 and change.
89. For me, I would go out and find the cleanest Acura NSX I could find out there for 37, 40 grand, just a really nice NSX. And then have someone put a blower on it for 8 grand or 10 grand or something.
Okay.
I'd get in under 50 grand, save myself 40. And
if you're going to drive it on the street. But this car, I say you look at this car, you give it a couple, 2-3 years, you pick one up used for half the price, you eBay the entire interior, and you have an awesome track car. All these body panels are composite. They're inexpensive and easy to replace.
Well, as I can attest, it works on the track.
The Toyota engine is fairly stock and inexpensive.
Right.
You can track this car all day long, and the maintenance would be low to do that.
Yeah.
And you would have a great time with this car.
It definitely works, and it's a nice balance of it's mid-engine.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks great. It handles great. It's quick. It's very well balanced.
The brakes are phenomenal. The car only weighs 3,146 pounds, somewhere around there. I don't know how to turn the radio off.
Yeah. And it's an actual, it's not a paddle shift, it's an actually has a gear shift on it, which makes it in a clutch, which makes it kind of fun. I don't know if I'd get it in this color, but cool car. And
we can take a little peek at the supercharger.
Oh, we can look at the supercharger.
Yeah. This latch will pop right up. And it just uses a twin screw supercharger sitting on right on top. Just fairly simple.
I'm gonna shut it down. So again, it's one of these things where you go, hey, this is a cool car, and then you go, oh, it's $89,000, and now you start getting into, you know, really like, would you rather have the Cayman, the Porsche Cayman S for 15 grand less or whatever it is?
I mean, are you cross shopping, or are you just a Lotus lover? And that's the thing, like, this is for Lotus guys, right?
I guess so, but I'm sort of with you that at its price point, I can see why they probably don't move tons of units of these things in North America, at least. All right. So if you want to see all this, you go to adamcarolla.com, and until next time, screw that up. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Norm DeWitt and Matt, the moderator, DeAndrea saying, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.